everyone, and welcome to Weekly Magic. I'm Rachel, and if you're new here, we make at-home and in the parks videos, so if you're interested in either or both, you're in the right place. And for today's video, we're going to be making 3 hidden Mickey mason jars, all themed to different fruits: blueberry, watermelon, and pineapple. So let's get started. First thing to do to all the mason jars is to cut about an inch thick strip of painter's tape and lay it vertically down the back of the jars to leave an empty space when removed. This way, whenever we fill the jars, you can see the fillings. I'm painting the watermelon jar completely red and then setting it aside to dry for a minute while I work on the lid. Then I'm going to paint the lid to look like a watermelon rind using light and dark green. I'm painting the entire lid dark green and then using the light green to make squiggles across the flat part and down the edges of the ring. Back to the red jar, I'm using black paint to paint on some small watermelon seeds, and in between some of the seeds I'm using a small dotting tool to make hidden Mickeys. Just peel the tape off and then cure according to your paint's directions. For filling, I'm going to make this a watermelon themed cake jar. I have boxed cake mix batter that I split into 2 bowls. To one of them, I'm adding green food coloring and a touch of watermelon candy flavoring. You only need a little bit of this, it's really strong. The other bowl, I'm adding red food coloring with mini chocolate chips. Now I'm just going to fill some cupcake liners with the batters, half of them with one and half with the other. And now to assemble, I just have our painted mason jar, our cooled cupcakes, some vanilla frosting, red sanding sugar, and some little black Mickey sprinkles. I'm splitting the cupcakes in half to make it easier to layer into the jar. You can also make these thinner or thicker depending on how big you want your layers to be. I'm starting by putting a layer of frosting on the bottom of the jar so it makes even layers. Add the first piece of cake and then a layer of frosting, then the other type of cake, and repeat until we get to the top. On top, for extra decoration, I'm adding some red sanding sugar with black Mickey sprinkles to match the watermelon theme. For decorating the blueberry jar, I'm painting the entire jar baby pink. Before continuing, I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes so I don't mess up the base layer. Using a large dotting tool, I'm making groups of circles around the jar for the blueberries. I'm making sure to put 3 dots in the shape of a hidden Mickey. Then using a smaller dotting tool, I'm making yellow dots for the center of the flowers. Using lavender, I'm placing 5 dots around the yellow ones to make a simple and cute flower design. Using green paint, I painted green leaves onto a couple of the blueberries, and I'm using black paint to add more details. I'm making small concave semicircles and connecting them in a circle to make the top of the blueberry. Now it's time to peel the tape off and let it dry before curing. For the filling, I need chilled tea, so I have 6 ounces of hot water and I'm adding a Twinings lemon ginger tea bag to it. I'm going to let this steep for 4 minutes and then remove the tea bag and let it chill in the fridge. And now to make the blueberry tea, I have my cocktail shaker filled with ice, and I'm just going to add the brewed tea that we made a little bit earlier, as well as about 1 ounce of simple syrup and 2 ounces of blueberry puree, and a squeeze of lemon as well. This is one of my favorite iced teas. They actually had this at Disney for Flower and Garden for a few years, and now they switch out the teas, but they haven't had it in a while, so I figured this was the best way for me to bring it back. It's for me, it's fine. And then I'm gonna add some blueberries to my glass just for decoration. And I made some of these little Mickeys that I cut out with lemon. So hopefully I can get it to stay in there, but we'll see. And the lid. So cold. I hate doing this because I hate the cold. Pretty color. And there's the tea, and then I have a larger Mickey as well that I'm going to top it off with. The pineapple jar is definitely the easiest painting-wise. I'm just going to paint the entire jar yellow, remove the tape, and cure. Once it's cured, I'm going to cut about 1/2-inch strips of painter's tape and lay them on a slant, making stripes all the way around the jar at about a 45-degree angle. On either side of the tape, I'm just following the lines with a black oil-based marker. Remove the tape and in the opposite direction, lay another set of stripes. Outline these stripes again and remove all the tape and you have a pineapple pattern. There's no hidden Mickeys yet though, so I'm going to use the same pen to draw some around the jar. So the filling for our pineapple jar is going to be some Dole Whip, and I just took some Dole Whip mix and mixed it with ice cold water, and I'm going to pour this into my ice cream maker and let this go for about 30 minutes or so. Oh no. It's nothing.
Saw nothing.
Alright, now the Dole Whip is done and I'm going to fill my mason jar with it, and I also printed out little pineapple leaves that I taped onto a straw just to make it look more like a pineapple. Cute. And here's how all the mason jars turned out. These were super fun to make and I love that the fillings match the jars themselves. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye everyone! I should start that over. All right.